So, we go. Sorry, I got distracted. Anyway, let's go back to 5 Gilded Regrets. Moon phase, waning crescent, stage, bargain. Sorry. I'm back here. I feel like living. Okay. It just closed on me. But we're back at it again. I'm gonna redo this. Gilded Regrets. Moon phase, winning crescent, stage, bargain. I feel like living in the past. Please give me 5 more minutes to linger. Visual seed, an elven queen with heavy eyes. Her dress is blue as the clearest water. Her crown of thorns and golden clawed flowers holds a blue orb in her hand. Sentence. Memories are like floating underwater, safe, warm, and murky. Yet they held the scent of death, going dark. The cage of our memories is the most gilded, lingering to the past, savoring crumbs and flashes, hints and ifs, but is our sword, however is our shield. We follow the river against the currents to the sea of maybes. We can't say life is here now. We just say life was here. So that even when the future builds day by day, we still look backwards to memories and possibilities. Options we miss, things we lost, changes we fled. It is like staying in the twilight of conscious, in the twilight of conscious, in the blessed state of those 5 minutes between the time the alarm rings and you actually have to wake up. Like little kids between the time mom calls and the time we need to wake up and run. But those 5 minutes are taking up too much time. They are the drain of our energies, of our or our opportunities of our future. The ifs are now gone. Whatever has already been, isn't it? So, I'm gonna tell you why I love. I'm gonna get back to Gilded Regret, but I'm gonna tell you why I love the card Fated to Suffer. Because in your eyes, this is the evil witch and Snow White giving the apple. But the truth is, she hasn't even been given the apple yet. We don't know if this is actually Snow White. We don't know if this is the evil queen. We don't know if that apple is poison. We won't know unless we take that chance and go through to it. Whatever this opportunity is. And honestly, when I first saw it, I was so dead set on thinking, okay, it's self-sabotaging. Not self-sabotaging. We gotta get back to that word. It is not someone sabotaging someone else. But what if that apple wasn't poison? What if it was just a lady giving a kid, giving the woman an apple? What if it was just that? And we're making too many inferences based on how she looks, how she's standing. Why is she just giving this single apple out? We're making too many inferences on the visual instead of how it feels. So, in that saying, you are not fated to live through suffering, whether it's through the past actions you had, um, the things that happened to you, what made your character today. You still have that choice to say who you are, what you want to do, and this is how I want my life to go. You still have that say. Now, it's funny because Gilded Regret and Zachario, Angel of Memory. We're looking at the memories we once had. So, why do we want to linger in the memories so bad? The memories comfort us. They tell us that, oh, but this was so nice, and this and this and this, and oh man, you remember that one time? When you go to memories, instead of realizing that they are just that, memories, and that memories, while they do sometimes make up the actions you have today, those actions you make are your own. So you choosing to go down a path of self-destruction, you choosing to go down a path of reconstruction, you choosing to do whatever you want in this life is your choice alone. And nobody can deter you or put a choice in your head. Now, when we talk about manipulation, tactics, when we talk about um, taking somebody's naivety and using it against them, those are different things. But at the end of the day, the choices you make are still your own. When you don't have a choice in the matter, that's when you feel that fated to suffer. The times that choice was taken from you is not the same as a choice that you can make on your own. And there's a difference in those structures. When I look at Temple of My Body and Colorless Angel, I see that the body I am given is mine to take control of, is my body. It's my choice. That's what every person is. Their body is their choice. Nobody has control of your body. Not even my own parents got control over my body. They may have when I was younger because I was a child, but I'm an adult. I have that choice for myself. And even then, I feel that if I were to have some of my own, I wouldn't take the choices they have away from them. Because I didn't want that for myself, why would I do that to them? So, everybody has a right reserved to their body and what they want to do with the choices they have. Now we go to Colorless Angel. When those choices were taken away from us, you remember feeling less than, that you had no right over your own self, that you had to follow orders that didn't sit right with you. And we know that rules and regulations are there for our safety, but it also begs to differ that those rules and regulations oftentimes contradict themselves. Now, we're not fated to suffer at the hands of somebody else or even at the hands of our own. The choices we make are just that, they're choices. So, deeming them good or bad without actually looking at them through the lens of your own morality, that is where you fail at. And I use this term fail loosely, um, because for me, um, when I go into work and I have the choice to briefly interact with customers or um, have long conversations. Now, when time is slow, I'll have those conversations, but if it has to be moving the line quickly, those conversations will be brief. But even then, I think about how when we have the donation screen, so most of the time people will not donate, so I'll press decline for them because some people just don't understand that you have to do it yourself, but they don't realize that it's not just a put your thing in and go. You have to actually take steps on the computer to get somebody to pay, and it's just a precaution, which I understand. Um, and But when I think about clicking the button for people, I feel that sometimes I'll take access from them doing it themselves. Um, if they don't tell me outright that they just don't want to donate. And I do that because I gauge on the total versus, you know, I gauge on the total versus asking them most of the time because that mostly just gives me, because I'm assuming, that mostly gives me the idea, okay, they're not going to donate. I don't know that for sure. So, with Fated to Suffer, you're already making that choice ahead of time before you even know what is going to be planned out. I make the choice for them before I even know sometimes. And the thing is, I don't actually have to do that. But sometimes I will because I made an assumption. So, when it comes to what we were talking about earlier, choices, they are yours alone. Your life is yours alone. You have that right to do what you want because those are your choices. So, calling the storm, I'll go back to that one. I'm going to be back to that one. I really quick want to go to the emanations. So, we have Gavura, left hand judgment, said, right hand empathy, Pod, left leg submission, Netza, right leg, endurance. So endurance came out, it came out reverse. Typically, I don't do things in reverse when it comes to oracle cards, particularly. But this really spoke out to me for some reason. And when I look at them, I'm thinking that, you know, endurance, submission, empathy, judgment, they're the opposite of each other. You know, right, left, they're the opposites. So endurance and submission. When you choose to endure something, or when you have to endure something because we don't always have the choices that we want to make. But hi. When we oftentimes hungry, but when we oftentimes have to make those choices, they aren't really kept. Sorry, I just had like a around. Anyway, endurance and submission. Oftentimes, when we have to endure something, it is not always favorable. But I feel like enduring something is not going to be favorable at all. The same with submission. When we submit, it is, we feel, for our greater good. But it also is, on the other hand, not by our choice. Hey, get out with it. So, stop. When we have those two things conjoined together, right and left, these are supposed to be our roots. Now, because I say legs, they're supposed to be our roots. You know, I don't mean like, you know, in the root of the deck. I just mean root. And we're standing here. Our legs are like how tree barks are. They are firm on the ground. They're supposed to hold us up. But getting back to it, I'm going off topic. But getting back to it, there are roots. To make those choices for submission or endurance, we have to look at it through judgment, which is the left hand. And on the right is empathy. So through the lens of judgment and empathy. Empathy doesn't mean that you feel sad for something. It is understanding something in the sense of, say, so my cat, Big Head, he's always meowing. And I understand it's either because he wants to go outside or he's hungry. Now, I'll understand that he's hungry. Well, another thing, he also wants attention. So, I can understand those things because I also feel those emotions myself. But oftentimes I see that he's he's kind of greedy. He's not kind of greedy, he is greedy. So, I can understand. I have empathy that he needs those things. But I also make the judgment that, okay, I'm not gonna interact with him if he keeps on meowing in my face and, you know, trying to grab my attention away from something that is important. That is a judgment I have to make. And sometimes, okay, I'll let him do what he wants. I'll endure it. I'll let him lay on me. I'll give him rubs and everything. That's another judgment I make. That's also leading into submission because that's Charlie. That's not Big Head. With that, also leads into submission because I let him take my attention away from whatever it is. So you see how those working together? They all coexist, making a judgment, using empathy to understand something, endurance. So hold on. And submission to let go, release, or to give in. So at the top we have Remuel, Angel of Vision, Azrael, Angel of Death, and Matario, Angel of Rain. It's been raining for a few days. Well, you know, not a lot, but it's rained a fair amount. Now, when I see Matario, I think of crying. And I'll get you to understand. Hold on, before you say anything. I think of crying because crying is a release. And when you cry, you release frustration, you release anger, you release sadness, you release happiness. It is letting something be released. So, that is why we have water. Or even, you know, when you go to the restroom, that is a release because it's also water that is built up from drinking stuff. So, with that release, we feel better after. Maybe it won't, because different types of crying requires different type. It has a different type of ring to it, a different feeling to it, and when I see death, I don't immediately think that, oh, somebody's gonna die. You know, I think of, like I said earlier, with the rain. It's a release. It is a release of something. It is a rebirth of sorts. So, life and death are coexisting habitats of one another. So, while something is coming to life, something dies. Same with life coming, with death coming. With death coming, something lives. And those parts of life are always going to exist. Because even with experiencing death or seeing somebody die, you are still in the progress of rebirth. because ooh, sorry. You're still in the process of rebirth because you are experiencing emotions through the 5 stages. So now you have to find out, who are you without as who are you with. They're both you, but they have different connotations. One's lived, one's died. And that is through each stage of your life whenever you go through a rebirth of any kind. But one will not stay the same. So, Angel of Visions. That's also why I have the dream deck here, because we are going to be diving into dreams. And we will see. But with visions, I feel like that even though you can't see where you're going, you can always have that sense of feeling. Or you can have that thought in the back of your head or in the forefront of your mind, this is where I will be. And how do you get to where you will be? That's your choices that you make through each day, each time, each hour, whatever it is. Those are the choices that you will make. And choices are not easy. That's why we use both lefts and both rights. Use judgment, empathy, endurance, submission. Get to the root of the cause. Because when I read right leg and left leg, right hand, left leg, left hand, sorry. When I read those, they're part of Tree of Life. And that's not everything that we do use. But those are part of it. So, calling the storm. And I promise you, I will be back to visions and calling the storm. They have not left my mind. And this is a new deck I just got. It was from Books a Million. But here we go. It's called, where is it? It's under there. But it's the Fallen Angel one. So we have Balaam, 63, Quiet Strength. We have Eligor, 12, Conflict. Caduceus, 53, harmony. Orius, 49, inspiration. And Otis, 9, judgment. And on the back of the deck you have Marchosius, 31, partnership. Now that has an odd ring to it. So, oftentimes, through anger, what I've experienced at least, there is always this hope for justice. But through anger, I realized that it was not the right type of justice that I wanted. I didn't because they hurt me. Because I don't need that. I don't need that on my conscience. I don't care what happens to them. The justice I want is to be better without them. To forget that it happened because I am no longer again. But then thinking about it, because this is where bargaining comes in, if I just forget about it, I can't forgive them either. I can't forget and forgive. I can't just forget it because I just don't forgive them. But why do I have to forgive somebody? And people often say, oh, you'll feel better if you forgive. You do this if you forgive. I don't forgive them for a reason. And I'm not holding them accountable for it because life will do them much worse than what I could ever do. What I would even think about doing. Because the universe has eyes. It may not be physical eyes, but there's eyes they have. And when it comes to memories I've had about this thought that I was, so to go back to the other cards, Fated to Suffer, Dark Mirror. When we go back to those things, they are just as they are, memories. Whether good or bad memories, whether the gray memories, whether the pink, blue, green memories, brown memories. Brown memories. Oh. Sorry, I had to plug my phone up. But you're back to the memories. They are just that, memories. And the conflict that comes from them, the pain that comes from them. I realized that memories cannot cause me pain unless I let. And the breakthrough I had is, instead of keeping those memories in pain, why don't I make fun of it? Use humor to cope. No, don't touch that. No. You're gonna do right, or you're going back to the room. Pick a side. Anyway. Through it all, I used humor to cope. So this is gonna be a really weird saying. It's gonna be really weird when I say it. I promise you it is. But one of my one of the things that happened when I was younger, I'm not gonna say what it is, but it was bad. Um, but instead of seeing it in the light of just being hurt when I was a child, I reframed it in, okay, it was a bad firecracker. It was a rotten tomato. Boo, boo, rotten tomato, 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 you know what I mean? It was like that. I decided to describe it as something else. It doesn't mean that the memory lost purpose altogether to understand that I was hurt from it. It just means that I stopped giving it power on what it had for me, of the hold it had on me. And I refuse to let that memory dictate how I feel today, how I get happy today, how I do anything today. I refuse to let that memory make me feel less than. I refuse to let that memory tell me something like I'm disgusting, or I'm, any of those bad words I used to have for myself. Or phrases, however you want to put it. But I refuse to let those things have power over me. Hence why I choose a different route. People say humor masks pain, but I say it. I'm not gonna lie and say it doesn't, but I'm also not gonna lie and say it doesn't help. So I'm not fated to feel this anger within. I'm not fated to feel bad about what happened to me, or about I'm not fated to just be stuck in this perpetual cycle that I hate myself or I'm never going to be good enough. I'm not fated to do that. So instead of having those words for me, I started realizing I need to put the blame where it's due. No. And that's where I put the blame on okay, sorry, I'm back. I started putting the blame where it's due. So for the perpetrators, they get the blame because they knew that it was wrong, but they still chose to do it. And not only that, there was no accountability held for the actions they did. When it comes to what was around, who was around, they had no part in it. But if I had been listened to more, instead of being perceived as a child who was acting out or being a crybaby, I would have felt more open to go to my parents about the situations that happened. Um, and I feel like those parts have always found a way to the front. So, to make memories more harmonious instead of under conflict. And it's funny because they both are well, one's what was it? Unicorn, Pegasus. This one's an alicorn, and then this one's like a Pegasus. But they both, and I'm getting taken to how Twilight Sparkle was. She was just a unicorn at first, and she earned her wings. And I haven't seen that show in so long, but when it comes to the conflict, we have to make harmony with it. We have to make peace with the memories we have. We have to make peace with the pain that we had. And we have to make peace with the pain that is causing us trouble now. So this is where Belong comes in. Quiet strength. You don't have to be outspoken to show your strength. You don't have to fight to show your strength. You don't have to stand out to show your strength or to have strength in general. And through making peace through the conflict, you find your inspiration to continue to live another day. You find the inspiration to be like, I don't want myself to be in this idea that I have to suffer. I don't want to be in this idea that I can't be better. I can't do better. I can't choose my own path for myself. Once you make peace with what happened, call the storm that's within you and move forward out of the cage. You'll realize that the air that's around is much fresher than staying in the cage. Whatever that cage looks like for you. And Marchosius is like Marchosius. I hope I'm saying that. Hope I'm saying that right. Oh my gosh. Phoenix, rebirth. And then there's another horse, honesty, Oribus, and Phoenix. And on the back, well, before those was Andromedus, and Andromedus 72 deception. But we're gonna get to those. But like, whoa, talking about rebirth again. Okay. 31. So, Marchosius, water, moon. Wait, water element, planet, moon. The message, courage and determination are needed. Remember who else you are fighting for. The angel's totem beast is the she-wolf, and Marchosius is said by some to have been one of the first fallen angels to be tamed by Solomon, and later conjured his magic brass vessel like a genie into a lamp. Marchosius bestows strength and courage, particularly in the storm is on, but you know, I get it. You know, they don't be knowing what they doing. But going back, where's my book? Here it is. Let's go back to it. Okay. Marchosius bestows strength, courage, particularly in the defense of family and friends. She represents selfless and fearless maternal protectiveness. Ally yourself to a cause and you will find strength, the strength you need for the juggle ahead. Card motto partnership. I cannot speak. What the fuck? Anyway. anyway. When it comes to, because I feel that aligns with justice so well. So, when it comes to justice and partnership, you are aligning yourself with values that not only work with you, but work with what's around you. You know how they say as above, so below? I think that is as within, as without. As with, as without. As within, as with, as out. Let me stop. Anyway. Moving on. Because I'm really loving it right now. I'm loving the message. I'm gonna put these up though. So, a few more cards. Barbados, Spirit of Nature. Elisir, 64, Vigilance. Okay, that's a lot of sixes. Vol, harmony. We just had harmony. Oh. That's harmony twice. Amdusius, element air, planet Venus. Message, celebration is indicated and the coming together of friends for a common purpose. As Amdusius, totem beast is the mystical and elusive unicorn. He can adopt this form in dreams and visions, but more usually appears in the human guise as a glorious angel whose progress is accompanied by the enchanting music of an invisible orchestra. Like the unicorn, Amdusius favors forests. The trees bend to his command, providing shelter. He brings peace and friendship and signals a time for gathering together like-minded souls for the undertaking of some adventurous new project close to your heart. Card motto, harmony. Uval. Uval? Uval? That's gonna fuck with my dyslexia so bad. Anyway, element water, planet Venus. Message, peace descends, a time for settling old debts, and possibly a new romance. Uval's totem beast is the dromedary, or Arabian camel, and she can, like Paimon 22 and Gomuri 51, appear as in princess riding on the back of one of these beasts. Her specialty is to promote love, particularly the love of women or men, and to encourage reconciliation between old enemies or estranged friends and family. Uval also stirs the interest of in divination and other mystical practices, being a channel for mysteries of ancient Egypt. Card motto, harmony. And I just find that interesting that they're both harmony. I find that so interesting. And it's two different types of harmony. Like one is for friends and family, and the other one is more so directed towards love. Oh, that's wild. That is very wild. And it's just the fact that they're both for harmony that kind of gets me. So yeah, making peace with a lot of things. So we're going to get some dreams. These may have been dreams that you have or ones you had in the past, recent, whatever it is for you. Okay. Deceased people. There's a spiritually minded school of thought that sees dreams of departed loved ones as genuine signs of the afterlife. A way for the deceased to gently reassure you that they are eternally alive in spirit. Research shows that in 85% of cases, people who have afterlife dreams feel better able to cope with their grief. Regardless of your beliefs, dreaming about a lost loved one can be comforting if they passed away less than 2 years ago. If, however, it's longer than that, perhaps you've not fully processed your grief. Dreaming about the dead could denote they have they still have a strong influence over you. If a ghost or spirit appears, this could be a symbolized unfinished business. It may also represent lack of clarity in your thinking or in some situation you're dealing with. Alternatively, something or someone is haunting you, perhaps an old lover or regrets. Jesus, that's so much that comes out. Demon or monster. We all have our demons. When they appear in dreams in some grotesque or scary form, they may represent emotions we've been repressing or hiding. An alien or a monster in a dream can have a similar meaning. Your dreaming mind is encouraging you to come to terms with something that's inwardly plaguing or intimidating you. The problem may be an emotion such as anger, fear, or anxiety that has gotten out of control and morphed into a malevolent force. Alternatively, it may also be a situation that's gotten out of hand, or a person who refuses to listen to you, respect you, or take your feelings or wishes into account. Maybe they have taken advantage of you, possibly by exploiting your good nature. Since monsters are fiction, the dreams could also suggest that to your unconscious mind that you see your delusions for what they are and get real. Social media. Online communication is an inescapable part of modern life. So it isn't surprising that many of us dream about Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or or communicating via messenger app. In general, these kinds of dreams suggest a desire to expand your online network or to either reconnect with people from your past or seek out new horizons. If your dream is changing your profile picture or page, this indicates that you want to control the way other people see you, or may already be doing so. If you find yourself scrolling aimlessly or being directed to the same web page repeatedly, perhaps you're spending too much time online. Gaining likes or new followers may reflect a feeling that you are worthy of others' approval, whereas losing friends or followers may indicate you can't or won't conform to the expectations placed on you by friends, family, or society. Okay. Actually, I'm going to pick that one out. So, money. Money in a dream appearing as cash or credit cards can be a symbol of how emotionally secure you feel. It can also represent the influence you may have over others. Any dream featuring a bank investment, money transfer, or can similarly carry out an emotional meaning. Giving money away or spending suggests a wish to be more generous or outgoing. Alternatively, your unconscious may be urging you to be more giving in a relationship. Receiving money indicates you need to accept or ask for emotional support. If you find money, whether by chance or after searching for it, there's something valuable about yourself you need to learn. Perhaps you are close to discovery. Losing money symbolizes a lost opportunity. If money is stolen, you may believe you don't deserve something or someone in your life, or that others are taking you for granted. So all of these are pink except for social media. And I'm more so thinking of just like rose-colored lens, but could be something entirely different. And it's funny because in that dream that I wasn't really all that remembering of today or last night, whatever. I dreamt that I was in the ocean, but it was like a mermaid that stole something from a gathering and got caught and chained into some type of golden coffin. But the person who chained them in left it open, and someone else found the mermaid, and they ended up going free. So it was almost in a sense of like, why were they stuck in there in the first place? Like, I know they stole something, yes, but they left the coffin open for some type of reason. So I wouldn't know the reason, but it was for money that they stole the thing. That's what it seemed like to me. But looking at the demons or monsters chasing someone in that dream, like a dream of being chased, of being hunted, it's not a good feeling. So you could have something that's like that in these dreams, whether it's the deceased loved one visiting you, monsters or demons, social media, spending so much time on it that it consumes your everyday, and money, whether it's through worrying about it or not feeling as though you have enough, or not getting what you need with it. Budgeting. Sometimes we do need to budget. So, unjo joy. Going over to runes now. Because, like, after all of this, we still haven't even gotten to the cards. Solilo, sun. Hagalaz, hail. And on the back we have Thurisaz, thorn. And I hope I'm saying these right. Like, I hope I'm not butchering the fuck out of them. Anyway, that kind of reminds me. It kind of reminds me of Harry Potter and his thunder score. Soli. Sowilo, sorry. Sowilo is reminding me of that. But I feel like with hail and the sun, there have been two very different moods. Somewhere in the peace that it is for a moment, to the rough weather that kind of throws down on us. And that could be with emotions. You know how emotions, they come from being not intense to very intense. Even with joy. Joy is an emotion that we have. And we're having fun in the moment, you know. Having fun in the moment that we just miss out on the time to be productive. But who's to say the joy isn't productive, you know? It's productive for us. It helps us be happy. And I don't think that anybody is destined to be alone. In a sense of, because there are some people who don't feel romantic attraction at all. Or not really as much as somebody who would base their entire ideal life around romance. It's two sides of the spectrum that range intensity, you know what I mean? And I feel like with the intensity of these emotions we have, we just have to take a moment and step back to view them for what they are. There are emotions that will pass. There are emotions that will change. There are emotions that we have right now, but they will come and go. So, it might be rough, it might be calm and peaceful. It might be everything that we need, what we want. But at the end of the day, they are just emotions that we face through. What I said about choices, again, I still say this. We have the choice to enable or not to enable. We have the choice, actually, yes, enable. We have the choice to enable our dark desires or to move against them in the way of, we don't need to do this to feel fulfilled. We have other modes of living that makes us fulfilled. Now finally, we are getting to the tarot cards. So let's see what we get with the Hoodoo. Father of Knives. 2 of Sticks in reverse. Son of Knives in reverse. Mother of Knives in reverse. 4 of Baskets in reverse. We have the 3 of Baskets in reverse. And on the back of the deck, we have the Son of Coins. I'm getting a song from Tyler, the Creator. I forgot which one it was, but it was somewhere around the Wolfgang era or somewhere after it. But it was, I can't remember it for quote by quote, but I'm gonna give you a general idea of what he was talking about. He said, the person in the mirror, it was made for him. When you look at what you make, it was made for you. You're not wanting somebody else to, you're not making stuff for other people. You're making stuff for you. You're being creative for you at the end of the day, because it is through your lens. Now, people may find inspiration from it, or they may relate to it, but it's not them. It's not for them. Because the understanding for this, of what you have, is for you. Even how I interpret that single lyric, it is how I'm viewing it. It may not be what he's viewing, but it's what I'm viewing, you know what I mean? So, you have the Page of Coins. You have the World. You have the Lovers in reverse. And the World in reverse, sorry. You have the 10 of Cups. The 9 of Cups in reverse. The Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups. In the back of the deck, you have Justice in reverse. So, that's a wild quinky dinky for all of this. Is this was up there? What is it? Oh, boy. Okay. So, when I see the Father of Knives, I immediately think about time. The time is now. The time for you to move is now. With the Two of Sticks, sometimes, especially seeing as all of these are reversed, going forward, looking back won't do you any good. In the sense of how your world was in the past is not the same as your world now. With the Son of Knives, having unfinished business with it, I understand. We want to look back and think about everything that happened, whether it was good, whether it was bad, whatever emotion it sparked from us, because that is the emotions we are used to. Now, the Mother of Knives, she sees it. She knows that. She knows that. She knows that how it was isn't the same as it is now. But when we go to the Four of Baskets, she's ignoring what's being given to her. She's ignoring the fourth basket. So that fourth basket that's being given to her, that is the memories of the past. That is the feelings that you had from the past. She's not just simply ignoring it just to be of spite to it. She's ignoring it because she doesn't want to stay there. And why would you want to stay in the past? It already happened. You can't go back and change it. So what do you have to do? You have to make peace with it. Preserve your harmony within you. With Three of Baskets. You see, it is so distant where the family is. It's so distant where they are. So it may not feel like a joyous occasion for you to release these memories, but in the long run, you will feel better. Now, this Page of Coins, which is so funny because in the Son of Coins in the Hoodoo Tarot is the Knight of Coins, but the Daughter is the Page. And it's funny how we start with the Page, because we are starting on some type of an adventure that is financial, or just a new adventure in general, which is coming to understanding why we have so far built ourselves up to these standards that we have. What is our morals that we have? What is the feeling of not feeling good enough coming from? Where is that feeling of wanting to be good enough coming from? Where are our behaviors stemming from? Leaving from the past world, but going back to understand it is entirely different. When I said about contradictions, there are many contradictions. You want to go back to understand, but understanding causes you pain. So why do you need to go back? Understand, give empathy to who you once were, empathy to what happened, because you are deserving of empathy, where you were not given the safe space to understand your emotions. You are now giving it to yourself. So the Lovers, Son of Knives, it is not about igniting something that was in the past. It is about using this to move forward, understanding this to move forward, letting go of this unfinished business to move forward. And that is where we see the Ten of Cups with the Mother of Knives. You feel better after releasing it. You'll feel better when you see it for what it is. Now you look at the past and you're not looking at it because you don't need it anymore. You don't need it to dictate how you're moving. You don't need it to dictate how you're going to be, how you're going to feel. All the hurt that you had, you're letting it go. You're letting it flow. And now we go to the Nine of Cups. And if you know this card, this is like my, this is the card I say, okay, it's for, you know. And when I also look at the Nine of Cups, it's what you have yet to gain. Because when you're looking away from the past, you have so much more to look forward to work on. That is what progress is. It's the present progression. And how we end off is with the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups. And it's funny, because I was talking about the mermaid earlier. Now, you're moving from this extreme. You're moving from extremes. Fire and water. You're no longer holding yourself back from the happiness that you want. You're seeing that if I want to make this happen, I can. I know I can, because I'm deserving of this. If you think you don't deserve something, ask yourself why. Ask yourself where that thought stems from. Is it because you haven't practiced enough? You don't look good enough? You don't dress good enough? You don't do whatever it is enough? Those thoughts are just thoughts. Now, if you work, well, if you know that you can get to a place where you are so at peace, then do it. Take those steps, take that journey, and stop looking at it as this long, outrageous expedition. It is a journey that is tailored for you because you are strong enough to get through it. Now on the back of these cards, the Son of Coins and Justice. There's a need for planning out. Because justice will go in your favor. But you are now at the planning stage to where you need to understand. Here's a good one from Miss Frizzle. Uh, if at first you don't succeed, figure out why, then try again. You're at the stage of where you're planning and you're trying to figure out, how can I get to this point? How can I do this? Figure it out. It's a process and you have all time in the world as long as you use it wisely. And don't sell yourself short. So we're going to the moon. We have the new moon. The time is ripe for seeking new opportunities. Moon in Aries. Remain sensitive to others to avoid confrontation. Moon totem wolf. Beware of letting your wilder instincts spin out of control. Dark moon. Spend time in contemplation and meditation in order to seek greater understanding of yourself and those around you. And we have the cow totem, a new life or even a new beginning, maybe blooming. I read that in Switch, but it's pretty much, I feel the same thing. New beginning and a new life. Love this card, Princess Charming / Prince Charming. Or just charming, whatever you like. I take the horse by the reins and become my own princess / Prince Charming / Charming. Taking care of my own needs. You don't need somebody to save you. You can save yourself. You are able. Being with discomfort. At times of discomfort, I courageously seek my soul's essence, which is clean, pure, and luminous. "14. Asking opens a pathway. When I ask questions of my inner being, I discovered that beautiful and helpful answers come to me. Always come to me. Oh my God. 21 souls. This is the flip. This is the flip. Oh my gosh. Soul's journey. Living from soul opens me to magic that exists when I surrender to divine manifestation on its own terms and timing. I don't think I showed you this one either. But I love these cards. And on the back you have fearless self-love. Whenever I choose to love myself, no matter the circumstances surrounding me, I am practicing fearlessness. I feel like a lot of these, you can really make your own interpretation of them. That's why I just don't go into deep explanation. And last but not least, we'll be doing affirmations. Today I feel good. Today I know deep down that I look good, I feel good, and I am a good person. Today I will not give in. Today I will not allow negative thoughts or feelings prevent me from achieving happiness. Today I am brilliant. Today, every idea I have is creative and thoughtful and full of potential. Today, I am confident. Today, I am who I am, and I am capable of doing anything I put my mind to. Today, I am resourceful. Today, I will turn anything into an opportunity. And on the back, you have, today, I am responsible. Today, I will make good choices that will bring me health and happiness. Okay. Well, that's all for my reading. And, you know, it took 2 parts, but we made it. So, thank you so much for watching. And like always, you know, like, share, subscribe. You know, thank you for tuning in the first place. But, you know, keep it juicy and koozie, and peace the fuck out.